earth-shattering news today, life-changing, game-changing, massive news soon to be coming from Donald Trump, up only. Also, major developments worldwide. As I've been predicting for nearly 20 years now, they are now rolling out digital cards. I can't say the other word, but you've probably seen the video going all over the internet right now, threatening those in the UK, soon to be around the world, that you will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have a digital card. A digital card. He says it's, quote, as simple as that. This is the Prime Minister in the UK telling you you will not be able to work, simply put, unless you comply. Without a card, okay, because they're making everything digital, you will not be allowed to work in the UK. Again, I told you they're not going to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want you to understand too that when I told the world 20 years ago and built this media platform, people said we were crazy and that it was a conspiracy theory that governments would never force you to take the mark. Now, they're straight up telling you, you will not buy or sell without it, okay? Now, we're going to talk about that. There's actually huge positive news today. You can see why it's so important, by the way, to get your money out of the banks and private Christian ecosystems before they unleash that. Do you understand how important it is to be in private ecosystems you own directly outside of their system, in physical, real-world assets with its own economy, cash flows, and soon-to-be public tokenization launch, which is a crypto I've personally designed to combat what this guy is doing here. Do you understand that this is going to be rolled out worldwide? Now, some countries may fight back a little bit more than others, and we hope that they do, and I hope that the American people, and I pray that people worldwide will fight back. But I'm also going to deliver some hard-hitting and in-your-face truth that you've probably not thought about. Remember how I told you that they always introduce the hard tyranny to get the gut reaction from the general milieu and the public? And they come out very, very aggressive, just like the Prime Minister did yesterday, saying you're going to be forced on it. And they call it something very draconian. I can't say the word because of the algorithms, but essentially the digital cards, okay? Your identification. They do that, signaling what they're already going to do, what is already going to happen, guaranteed, like I've been saying. And then they rebrand it and call it something else and give you the same darn thing. For example, I predicted this and have been 100% right about it, not just Bitcoin, but I told you that they were going to come out with CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. So what did they do? They came out strong and said, hey, CBDCs are coming, central bank digital currencies are coming, we're going to roll out this tyranny. What happened? People pushed back, the masses got all angry, right? And then they did exactly what I told you that they were going to do. Deliver the exact same thing, the exact same model, and the exact same technology rebranded. And what is the rebrand? Stablecoins. Stablecoins are the same thing as a CBDC. There is no difference. It's just been rebranded. So I want you to understand psychologically how the elites operate, that with a very specific intention, they always come out with a harsh term to get the public backlash, to get people accepting that, yes, they're going to all put you in bondage. And then as you kind of, the people get a little bit angry, they then give you the solution, but it's actually the same darn thing. But everyone doesn't understand that principle and they think it's something different and safer. They did the same thing with CBDCs and now stable coins, which are the exact same thing. So what I'm telling you now, that these digital cards, which they're coming out strong, they want your reaction. After they get the public reaction, they'll reintroduce the same thing under a new brand, under a new term, under a new selling point. I don't know what they're going to call it, but they'll call it something good like proof of identity, proof of humanity, something like that. Yeah, probably like proof of identity, proof of humanity. And then everyone's going to be like, yay, yay. It's the same thing. So just understand that they've got you by the balls, okay? And the people aren't smart enough, you are, but the people aren't smart enough to figure it out. It's like a guy with like a couple cups with balls, right? He already knows where the ball is. He knows that in advance. It's all an illusion. Same thing they're doing to you now. So I guarantee you, you will get the exact same thing branded differently very soon. Proof of humanity, proof of identity, and they'll say it'll combat illegal immigration, fraud, scams, and something necessary we're going to need, of course, proof of human with the AI rolling out, making it indistinguishable to tell who's human and who's AI. By the way, you know that guy? He's an Asian fellow who's the world's highest IQ holder. I'm going to tell you something I discovered the other day that even kind of blew my mind. I believe he's AI. I actually don't believe he's real. I really don't. And I can tell by his videos. Again, keep in mind, they're also co-opting the Christian movement, and they got to kind of bring everybody in to then deliver this stuff. So they're going to need world leaders that you trust to push this. So I'm telling you, whatever this is very, very evil. And whatever they rebrand it, proof of humanity, proof of human, proof of identity next, it's going to be sold. It'll be the same darn thing and very evil. Now, today's video is not hyperbole. We know that the world is in global chaos, but we have absolutely massive weekend news. By the way, we've got almost 1,000 generals, admirals, Space Force commanders, and others meeting, I think, out in Virginia in the coming days in a very well-publicized notice, of which the government's doing some kind of war planning they want us to know about. Donald Trump's positioning right now, getting ready for strikes on Venezuela and the cartels. So we're going to see that. They've been shoring up the Caribbean. We also see tensions going on with Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan. So keep that all in mind, that there's this reset going on, this massive hyperinflationary collapse. Major hedge funds and Wall Street and the insiders, more importantly, sovereign banks, are secretly buying and front-running the American public, buying Bitcoin, buying gold, and buying silver to vault it for what they know is coming next. So all this up-only pricing in gold, for example, Bitcoin as well, is due to highly secretive buying by the governments, sovereign wealth funds, and central banks. So understand that the big boys are actually getting in now. I'm actually seeing a lot more people like retail sell gold, which I think it's fine to take some profits because it's done very well. But really what's happening is retail selling some and the institutions are buying. Okay, you have to understand this. Same thing with Bitcoin. For example, and this is going to be a massive weekend news event, Eric Trump is signaling something huge. And he already knows what's going to happen next. He's an insider. I mean, his dad's president. They're privy to inside information. Understand this. All of their companies, all of their blockchain investments. I even noticed Kai Trump came out with a new fashion line. Massive crypto news is ahead. And I'm going to tell you what it is, and this is world groundbreaking, truly shocking. And it means all of our crypto bags are going to pump literally up only to infinity. But before we get to that, I want you to like and share for a critical moment because many of you are thinking too small. Folks, Christians worldwide are winning. You're winning if you believe in Jesus. We're winning. Christians are absolutely winning. And I want to give you a scenario which I believe is going to happen by year end. I put this on X. Are you prepared for up only? And then I'm going to tell you why this is going to happen. Are you prepared for up only? For example, I want you to picture Bitcoin trading near $400,000 year end, near 400K, right? With alts up 30 to 1,000x by the end of the year. How would you handle that? Ask yourself this question, because most people are like playing things safe in life. You know, they're always on defense, but they play no offense. They haven't even thought about, what if I get rich? What if my dreams actually happen? What if my hopes and dreams actually occur? Then what? So I want you to think about this. Run this mental model with me because this is going to happen in your life. If you follow what I'm instructing, you're at school and you're at the Island Project by year end. Are you prepared for up only? Are you prepared for Bitcoin crushing into the 3 to 400K territory? Many of our alts up 30 to 1,000 plus X. I have to say not financial advice, of course. I'm just General Greene. I've gotten very Bitcoin rich. I launched the largest school in the world with hundreds of thousands of students, and I've made countless millionaires, multi-deca millionaires and up. That's just reality. I'm not a financial advisor that told you not to buy Bitcoin. Those guys are broke, ignorant, and fools. Now Bitcoin's trading at 110K. So I want you to ask yourself the mental question, how would you handle that? And are you prepared for that scenario? Many of you are not prepared for that scenario at all. Most Americans are always playing it too safe, right? There's an old saying, be greedy when others are fearful. That's how you get rich. Now I'm going to get to the shocking news. This is why you need to like and share. God bless you all. I also want to thank all of you. We're now up to like 340,000 new subscribers on Facebook. We've added like another 10,000. Absolutely all glory to God. So crazy. Thank you for sharing. I just super appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I want to tell you a little story. Then I'm going to give you the shocking news no one else in the world knows. And I'm going to reveal it to you today for free. Share. I mean, guys, like literally, it's the equivalent of putting millions of dollars in your pocket. You're welcome. I wrote this on X. Plan for the only outcome you desire. Have zero backup options and go all in. This is the secret to success. When there are no alternatives but one destination, it's amazing you'll always arrive there. I had a friend, for example, who was in the minors, minor league baseball in college. At that time, another friend asked him what his backup plan was if he didn't make it into the major league baseball, if he didn't become a pro in MLB. And he said something I'll never forget. He said he didn't have a backup plan. He said he didn't have one. There wasn't any alternative. He said he was going to the majors. That's what he said. His name is David Wright. I don't know if you know of him. I'm not a big follower of baseball, to be honest, so I don't know. I don't really follow baseball that well. But for those of you that do, you'll know David Wright is one of the wealthiest, most successful Major League ball players like to ever live. I think he was even like nominated or in something like the Hall of Fame. And he's made hundreds of millions of dollars since I heard him say that. And it was interesting too, because most people you meet always have a backup plan. They're like, well, if my singing career doesn't work out, I'll go and do this other lesser thing I hate and don't want to do. Or, you know, if this business plan doesn't work out, well, then I always have the backup plan here, you know, the crappy one that I don't really want. People that think like that are never successful. They're always actually really focused on their backup plan, not focused on the primary destination. It's a key modeling tool for success. For example, every company I have ever launched, every sport and game I have ever played, every single time I am in the water, or I am in the field, or I am in the business enterprise, not only is there no backup, but I expect and always win. Always. And there's a reason for it. Most people have a backup plan. Most people don't go all in. When the times get a little tough, they bail. At the first or even the second or the third, or maybe even the fourth or the fifth obstacle, they quit. Right before they're about to strike gold, they give up. Now, see, there's a difference between true winners, and this is the mindset you need in your life, and you need this mindset now because so many of you still aren't on offense. Island Project is offense. It's why we own $33.5 million in no bank debt. And by the way, I have a huge announcement for Thailand, booyah. Huge announcement. Acquisition in process. Donald Trump is about to make a major announcement. But first, let's start with Thailand, and then you'll see where I'm going with this. Thailand waives capital gains tax on crypto through the year 2029. You heard me correctly. Thailand, booyah, has waived capital gains taxes, taken them to zero on all crypto gains for 5 years. I want you to think about this. So all gains, every crypto gain, every gain in Bitcoin, every gain in Ethereum, every gain in XRP, every gain in islandproject.com, every single last gain, every gain in our altcoins, every single last one of them in Thailand has waived capital gains taxes to zero for 5 years. I want you to think about how this will impact a flood of investment, real estate investment, expats, wealthy remote workers, which that's mostly the wealthy. I mean, most people are in tech. Honestly, it's all concentrated in technology. It's all been concentrated in the blockchain and the digital, social media and those kinds of things in e-commerce. I mean, look at the world's billionaires. They're all in tech and all on the internet, and they all remote work. And I've said this for years. It's one of the reasons why in other parts of the world, as we internationalize, prices won't stay low for long. For example, equivalent villas, okay, that you've seen, on our trips to Thailand, for example, that might be 5 to 7 million, are 50 million in the United States today. So if you bought the same house in Thailand for 5 million or 7 million, it's 50 million in California. Crappier waters, more traffic, everything's more expensive, terrible politics, terrible government, the list goes on and on. So that's going to shift a lot. But this video isn't just about Thailand, although I do encourage you to watch some of our amazing videos from our villa in Thailand. Again, acquisitions are coming. And you can go back and watch all those videos, of course. I mean, just absolutely freaking insane. Like, let me show you a picture of this for a minute. I mean, it's just absolutely diamond nuts. I mean, unfreaking believable. Look at this place. 3 stories, yacht in front, helicopter, full-time staff, famous French 5-star chef, cook, private elevators. Again, 3 levels, daily cash flowing, dominating, $5 to $7 million. This is what Island Project does professionally. Again, we buy the best real estate options, not just concentrated in Hawaii, but worldwide, also own property in Park City. With international expansion, we pivot, leverage, profit before everybody else. And we do it physically with real world assets and also digitally. Again, Christians are winning. We built Island Project for this very reason, for enjoyment, live your investment. This is why we've launched Deck 2. Deck 2 is going to be expanding extremely aggressively internationally, one of the great reasons to get in to Deck 2. I'll have announcements on that very soon and shortly. But here's the earth-shattering news. The golden age up-only shock announcement you haven't heard yet. Just like Thailand, Booyah, has gotten rid of all capital gains tax, you're going to keep all your hard-earned money. You make money with your after-taxed, already taxed dollars, invest in crypto, make millions. You're going to keep all of it in Thailand. You can read all of this at the Thailand embassy. Here's the Royal Thai Embassy, and there's even a Washington, D.C. notice. You can read about all of it. But the big news isn't just Thailand. Guess who is also going to make a similar announcement imminently into the soon-to-be 250-year commemoration event of the greatest country in the world, 1776, and the promised Bitcoin domination, crypto domination golden age, with what Eric Trump is saying, it's going to be the best up-only fourth quarter ever, and that Bitcoin's guaranteed, according to him, to hit 1 million plus, which I've been saying for years. That man is, you guessed it, Donald John Trump. Many of you aren't on offense enough. You haven't even thought about the fact that, again, Trump is about to completely change the game for cryptocurrency investment. Why? And here's what I think he's going to do. I think he's going to cut capital gains taxes near or close to zero. I don't know if it's going to be as aggressive as a place like Thailand, but I think he's going to go near or at zero. We see him doing this with these golden passports you can buy for $1 million or whatever. He keeps taking it down, right? So I think Trump's going to make this announcement too. Why would he do that? One, pump his own bags. Donald Trump and his kids and his family, Kai Trump sporting her new gear, they own more crypto than almost anyone else you probably know at this point. All the billionaires are buying Bitcoin. BlackRock owns billions. Vanguard's moving in. All of Wall Street, all of the hedge funds, all of the big money managers. He's going to pump those bags. Okay, that's how America works. So understand this. It's a guarantee. Donald Trump's going to pump himself. Okay? You need to get on the right side of the pump. This is what you need to understand. So Trump is going to take it, in my view, down near or at zero to draw investment, crypto entrepreneurship, the greatest minds, financial capital, crypto blockchain ingenuity, and he's going to reward especially, United States-backed crypto companies like this one here. So that's something to think about. And there might even be a benefit, as many of us have suspected, specifically for United States-based blockchain projects like the Island Project. Wink, wink. This is going to be massive. So I want you to understand how the financial markets work, how Wall Street works and Washington works. They set the paradigm. They make the rules. When the sudden announcement hits, shock buys of Bitcoin, levered explosive buys, pump us up only. And this is how we're going to get, not only from ancillary investments coming out of the Kingdom of United Arab Emirates and Dubai and Qatar and Saudi Arabia and overseas and places like the Middle East and places like El Salvador and Central America. And there's more Central American countries moving in, going on a Bitcoin crypto standard as well. Overnight, Bitcoin prints God candles. So you have to understand this. Most of the gains come when you're not looking, and I'm preparing you for this right now because this is going to happen. Now, in the backdrop, they're going digital with your cards. Tyranny is coming, so understand that's why we built this. Again, private ecosystem, no bank debt. Internationalized, private. For Christians, God first, faith first. Outside of their totalitarian system and outside of their tyranny. Diversified internationally among multiple sovereigns, really our own sovereign. International flagships, private soon-to-be air travel, the list goes on and on. Cash flows, privately paid. as we collect rents, as we build out, continue building out all these projects, paid to our amazing investors. Live your investment. Actually enjoy your actual investment. You can't do that with a stock. You can't do it with a bond. You can't do it with an ETF. Participate in something amazing, and to top it all off, tokenize into our 1000X event. So there's a reason why we built all this. We already know what's coming. So you want to look at this in two ways, okay? One, get super aggressive right now. Again, you always want to buy when there's you-know-what on the streets, okay? Sentiment, very negative at the moment, right? A lot of people, oh, they're so scared we're going into October or whatever. It's going to be Uptober. Oh my gosh, what is Trump going to do next with the war? Doesn't matter. Again, one of the things the elites do is just keep you confused so you never really have a plan, right? So that you're never really convicted and you're always bouncing back and forth. And that's what they've done. They're dividing the masses. They're creating disunity. They're creating all kinds of problems in the political sphere, keeping people attacking each other, which is preventing you from getting rich, becoming successful, leading with courage, doing big, powerful things, enjoying your life, giving back to your communities, being charitable, and living the 1000X life. So just understand that they're running a weapon right now. And that weapon is massive division, blaming each other in the political parties, keeping you in fear, the constant war drums of war, and none of that even matters at all. The only thing that matters is that you're building a freedom, liberty network for you and your family. You're protecting you and yourself and the people that you care about. You're protecting and growing your finances. You are participating in new technology. You are developing inroads into liberty and freedom. You are strengthening your faith and making disciples, and you are giving and blessing others with the encouragement that they need to hear. That's all that matters. None of the other stuff matters. None of the other talking heads matter. None of their anti this or pro this or anti that or drama this or drama that matters. None of it. And you have to understand that's a weapon that kings have always used for all of real eternity of society and real management of populations and people. So nothing's changed. So this really is shocking. What do you do? Well, number one, you should be at my SchoolAtIslandProjectClub.com. Watch my video on asset allocation. Get in. That's a must. Two, onboard Deck 2 when we launch. It is imminent. 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 We are diversifying and are already in process now of international expansion. We've got our 13 colonies with the founders around. That was our super democratized event. I have over 400 members from around the world. That's a lot to manage. Keep that in mind. That was the opportunity to get in at a threshold of just 30K. Deck 2 is going to be a smaller group. We're adding two to three mega estate mansion homes, properties based here in Hawaii, 3 to 5 condominiums, high cash flow producers, also internationalization. Again, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, look, if Thailand is offering 0% capital gains taxes on millions of dollars, well, why would you stay here and at the very least not at least diversify a little bit if you can basically just keep all of your hard-earned money that's already been taxed for yourself? You'd have to be literally real dumb to do that. And this is why islandproject.com is such a great, and Deck 2, as well as our founders, is such a great option for all y'all tuning in, because you get a piece of the rock that you normally couldn't afford. And you're buying into places that are expanding, like Thailand. For example, Maui and Hawaii, you got to pay top tier prices. They've already been discovered. All the billionaires live here. It's already played out. The prices are still going up. It's one of the best real estate investments in the world. I think number one, but the huge gains, they're already there. They're already there. You're going to pay, 5, 7, 10, $30 million already for real extraordinary real estate. I had a couple comps blow out just down the street from me for like 28 million a few days ago. I mean, the wealthy are just, pounding in. So my point is, in these more internationalized areas where they haven't reset yet, properties in Thailand for 5 million or Bali are going to go to 15 soon. Why? No capital gains taxes. Smart people like us and you tuning in will simply diversify, right? Keep all the gains for yourself. Bring in talent and investment, which will also prop up real estate prices, of course, and bring in expats and money from all over the world. Obviously, there's a lot of Asian influence over there too. So you've got all this Chinese, money too. Russians actually love Thailand as well. Keep in mind, the Chinese are extraordinarily rich. When I go to places like Singapore, I'm like, wow, these people are so wealthy. It's like no joke. I see wealthy Chinese literally in Singapore carrying bags of money through the casinos. I'm like, you guys are insane. They've made so much money. There's been so much progress and wealth creation. There's more millionaires in China than anywhere in the world. I mean, there's so much wealth has been created over there. It is bonkers. And so all of that money is always going to free flow where it's most fruitful. I was on a hike earlier today and I noticed that there's a tree line that grows where the water actually flows through, where it's more dense, nutrient-oriented soil. And I was thinking, oh, that's a really good metaphor for money, right? The money's always gonna go to the best investment, like Bitcoin or gold or real estate, beach and ocean front, or a place like Thailand where it can plant its seed and be most fruitful. Just like people fled a king and came to establish the 13 colonies and then declared a war against Britain and won with 1776 because it was more fruitful. It was all about economic incentive to get rich. We conquered the West to get rich. It was the gold rush. People came and fought the revolution against the redcoats for economic interest, to get rich. They weren't fighting just to be free. No, they were fighting to get rich. All the colonists knew, if they weren't being excessively taxed without representation from a foreign entity government such as the king, they could keep all that money to themselves, and they themselves and their families would become rich merchants, rich farmers, rich landowners, et cetera, et cetera. It's the same thing now. So money always flows to where it's most fruitful, where the biggest gains are, where the most innovation is, where the water is running. And so this is massive news. It's not going to be a long video, so I'll close right about here. But I do encourage you, watch us in Thailand, boo. I've got several videos. You can go back in our history. I mean, here, I'll play a quick clip, but just look at how extraordinary these places are.
So, we're so excited now because we can see the vision come to life. We have so much momentum, and we're getting a lot of great calls here recently. And I kind of want to. I had a great one this morning, but I always like to stress that you're buying the island project you're buying a piece of the rock of this great portfolio that we're creating. 10 to 12 properties, mostly in Hawaii. We have one in Park City, Utah. We could have an international property, but the bulk of what we're putting together is in Hawaii. But you're buying the business plan. You're buying the brand that we're creating. You're part of the founders round. What is that? This is our proof of concept. Once we put all this together and we pull off the tokenization, that has the potential to be the big liquidity event for all of our investors.
Okay, so I'll pause it there. I won't go too long, but you can watch that video. Now, that aired a year ago. We're already done with the founders round, so keep that in mind. Deck 2 is now coming. So again, plant your seed where it will grow the most. Plant your crops where it's going to be most fruitful. Do this with your spirit, do it with your family, do it with your relationships, do it with your investments, do it with your life. Plant the seed where it's going to be most successful. So if you're just coming into this video, please like and share. Donald Trump is about to make an emergency announcement. This will come imminently. Eric Trump knows. Wink, wink. I know. And just like Thailand, Donald Trump will be making shock announcements soon to either take capital gains taxes, I believe, in my opinion, either at or near zero. unlocking the golden age for crypto up-only gains unlike anything you've ever seen before, which is why his entire family is massively invested, telling you it's going to millions of dollars. And that fourth quarter will be absolute shocking up-only, unlike anything we've seen since the inception of Satoshi, Bitcoin, crypto, and blockchain. As the island project tokenizes 1000x, as Deck 2 launches. And now we set sail with our international diversification and interconnected private Christian network flagships. I love you all. You guys are beautiful. Have a beautiful weekend. And again, get on offense today and do it with us. Love you all.